Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kahakodash.
It's like someone's
Double unsettled apostles, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace, love, and blessings to the brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make a call and election sure. I'm looking forward to be saved in these last days, in these troubling times. All right, and peace and love and blessings to also the few sisters out there listening, learning, believing. I'm by fellow Eric Knocklock, coming at you once again with another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai's lessons, edifying, also exhorting. And I don't know what I'm going to title this one, but this is just, the secret counsel of the wicked, basically. All right, the secret counsel of the wicked. And by the wicked, I mean the Edomites, which are the so-called white people today. All right, and chiefly the elites, the elites of the society. All right, that 1%. All right, the small hatters, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers. All right, those people. And what's happening now is, you see basically a pattern or a formula, all right, taking place. And I'm gonna just play this real quick from Joe Rogan, and you basically see the same formula being played out over here in America right now. All right, it's happening up over in Europe, and now it's happening in America. All right, and this is a plan of the global elites.
It's like someone's trying to destroy England, and they're getting away with it. Because the mass immigration, it's not an accident. If I was going to destroy a country, I would do it exactly the way they're doing it. I'd take away their freedom, take away their ability to protest, take away their which they did in the 90s, and then start tightening that noose. Tighter and tighter, add more restrictions, more this, more that. It's like someone's trying to destroy England, and they're getting
So let's hit these points that he made.
away with it. Because the mass immigration, it's not an accident.
That happened, right? When Joe Biden, under the Joe Biden administration, they opened the border and millions of people came in. All right, so it's the same formula. Okay, that's point one.
If I was going to destroy a country, I would do it exactly the way they're doing it. I'd take away their freedom, take away their ability to protest.
Take away their freedom, take away their ability to protest. What's that? Freedom of speech. All right. Let's get this real fast. And 4 days ago,
we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. They've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts. This is what they do, is they incite when you burn an American flag.
So problem, action, solution. You heard him. He's looking to take away the freedom of speech. All right, so again, the same formula is taking place. All right, take away their rights. And when you, I typed in the chat, right? How does taking away freedom of speech affect people's rights? Taking away freedom of speech deeply affects people's rights because it strikes at the foundation of almost every other liberty. Here's how. So that's why it's the First Amendment. It's as I say, it's the foundation of almost every other liberty. Right? Loss of personal expression. People can no longer openly share their thoughts. That's why you see the censorship going on. All right? Beliefs or criticism. This silence individuality enforces conformity. And you see that now. Okay, you just can't say what you want to say. I remember on YouTube, you used to be able to basically title the video however you wanted to title it. Say what you want to say. It was truly freedom of speech. Or you was able to express yourself. All right, now they deem it as hate speech. You're inciting crimes and so on and so forth. So, it's triggered now, okay? Suppression of truth. Without open discussion, lies and propaganda can spread unchecked. All right, so when somebody says something, it's just the authority of who's ever. It says when speech is controlled, those in power decide what's true exactly. So you can't question it no more. All right, basically how Esau Edom did it with his so-called science today. All right, he's the foremost authority of what's true and what's not. All right, and is an anti-God. All right, his whole so-called science. Starting the whole Big Bang Theory story, creation of what, so so on and so forth. All right. It says weakening of democracy. Free speech is how citizens hold leaders accountable. Without it, corruption, abuse of power can grow because people are afraid to speak out. And what he said, a penalty basically, prison, okay, for freedom of speech. Because why he's basically saying is basically treason, all right, inciting insurrection. It says erosion of other rights. Freedom of speech protects other rights like freedom of religion, assembly, and press. Once speech is restricted, it becomes easier to restrict everything else. All right, so that's what you do. Because what's freedom of speech, as it said, is the foundation of all other liberties, basically. All right. Psychological and social impact. People begin to self-censor, live in fear, and distrust others. Hey, because why? They can no longer communicate, all right, and voice their opinion no more. And then if you see it, which, I stopped doing, you used to be able to have like small discussions and stuff with people. And, I've been told, hey, man, you're extreme. Those are, those, they already been programmed already for people thinking that type of way. All right. They've been programmed by the media already. Oh, these are extremists. All right. Conspiracy, that conspiracy theories, truthers. Okay. So, all this is scriptural. And then when you don't communicate, let's get this precept real quick. This is going to support this prophecy. All right. Salakia. And I got a lot of precepts on the dome. I'm just trying to get this information out real fast. Straight to the point, Matthews 12 and 40. It's like in Matthews 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound. All right. The crime rate going up. Okay. The love of many shall wax cold. Okay. So this is going to support that. All right. Self-censor, live in fear, and distrust other societies become divided. What? Division. This, these are all script. I can pull so many scriptures out, so I'm gonna just try to grab each one that comes to my mind. All right, because I didn't really have, this really planned like that. Well, lined up, so to say. I'm just going in the spirit. Luke 12 and 51. Let's start at 49. Luke 12 and 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? So, Yahushua said he come to bring fire, because he's coming with the judgment. All right. In the midst of the Third World War, the missiles are going to be shot off, and then Yahushua is going to come right in the midst of that, with the what you call spaceships, the UFOs, with his lasers coming out of them. All right. It says, "But I have a baptism be baptized with, and how am I straightening till it be accomplished?" So the hell Yahushua had to go through the baptism, but he's done. He did what he had to do. We're just waiting for him to return. It says, "Suppose ye," that's the point, "suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division." But even when he was on the scene over 2,000 years ago, all right, his presence and what he stood for automatically brought forth division. So here it is, the testimony of Yahushua. That's how you know the spirit of Yahushua is here. All right, the Lord is visiting the earth that he made. This is Revelation 19 and 10. "I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. His true name is Yahweh Shai. All right, the letter J didn't exist. All right, when Yahweh Shai was on the earth. It says that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So, with that being said, when he was on a scene, or that was that Luke 12? I believe it was Luke 12. All right. Was it Luke 12? Yeah, okay. So when he was on the scene, he brought forth the vision. So here it is, we in the last days now. All right. Yahweh Shai, the prophecies are starting to take place. When you read Matthew, the 24th chapter, he said, what shall be, basically he told the disciples what will be happening, all right, when he's getting ready to return. So you see that great division is taking place to the point of Babylon the Great, aka America, is on the brink of a civil war. Okay, so that's that division that Yahweh Shai is bringing. I keep reading verse 52. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. All right. So you see it. That division is being set. So the spirit of Yahweh Shai here is on the earth, the testimony of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. And the Lord is working on the minds of these kings to bring forth and systematically breaking this whole system down and ushering in the end of the world. All right, the end of this age, the Edomite age. Because what they're trying to do is create all this chaos and bring forth the order, which is found in Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse, which they're basically fondling, all right, everybody into that, to receive that mark, all right, that chip. Let's go back to this video, see if we can get a few more points out of it, see if the Spirit bring out any more precepts.
Away their guns, which they did in the 90s, and then start tightening that noose, tighter and tighter, add more restrictions, more this, more that.
Yep, more restrictions, more this, more that. Amen shall desire. All right, more restrictions, and you see that now with the part of that now with the government shutdown and the planes being delayed, and then you got these was it, I don't know if the brother posted, was it airports filing for bankruptcy or plane companies, something to that point, filing for bankruptcy. It's basically, you know, they ain't able to make no money. All right, they're not working. Flights are being delayed, so that's restricting travel within itself. Let's get this right here. 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. Verse 14. Let's start at 14. 2nd Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. In the modern day sword, you know, definitely you go back during the ancient world, what majority everybody carried was an actual sword on them. All right, that would be equivalent to a firearm. All right, in that time, and, you know, a sword is not only pertaining to just the actual piece of a forged steel or metal. You know, it's just any killing instrument. All right. So that modern day sword, what everybody carry on them today. All right. And then just in Florida, what they basically you see people exercising the open carry law now. All right. So the stage is being set for all hell and chaos to break loose, for basically people to be unalived in mass numbers. Okay. But with swords in their hands, so everybody carrying, all right, heat on them, so to say. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And that's that sedition, all right? People no longer trust the government anymore. Okay? And basically Donald Trump has made himself a king, a dictator. All right? It says in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, the quarantine of the cities being cut off, transportation, all right, being limited. You know, all it takes them to hit the power grid and all the pumps that run off electricity. You know, you can't go. Public transportation is no longer running. You know, it's going to get to that apocalyptic environment, but even worse, as the scripture said. All right. But I wanted to hit that point real fast. There's a lot. This whole chapter is fire. But a man shall desire to go in city and shall not be able to. That's the starting of that restriction. All right.
It's like someone's trying to destroy England and they're getting away with it. Because
So it's the same people, same formula going over. Same thing happening in America as they start over in Europe. And then what? The digital ID. I forgot what it was. Was it Britain or the UK? Okay, where they basically just said it'd be mandatory to work in England and get a digital ID, or Britain. One of those things. Why? Because, you know, again, order out of chaos. You have all these migrants or immigrants crossing the borders, which is done purposely, as he said, systematically. All right, and then what? Come with the you have the problem, then you come with the solution. Order out of chaos. So the same formulas took place over here in Babylon the Great, aka America, which is why we tell you people, it don't matter who you vote for, left wing, right wing, they both working together, doing the bidding of the elites. And matter of fact, I think I'm gonna close out with that precept in Psalms. All right. Patriarch King David spoke about the secret counsel of the wicked. Psalm 64 verse 1 says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. All right, David also was a prophet as well as a king. Hear my voice, O God, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And so-called, that's a staple in the Israelite realm, world, so to say. We call it Illuminati scripture, the secret counsel of the wicked. All right. So this is the counsel. So this is what's going on behind scenes. This was planned. All right. And now they have to move forward with their agenda. We can hit that precept, Revelation 12:12, and close out with this one, because the time is short to basically fulfill his new world order, as they heard Bush Sr. say, all right, in his time of reigning. You know, he said the new world order, and we will be successful, right? Because all those presidents and, you know, leaders all around the world, all right, they're basically bought and paid for or controlled by the elites. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And this is why you see things are moving so fast. Trump is moving fast, man. All right. You know, the year ain't even over yet, and this man is making history. Deployed troops, his Gestapo all over the country, getting prepared, putting the pieces in place for when the people start, uprising, or whatever the case may be. Some event take place and the people start taking it to the streets. That order is going to have to come within. All right. So with that, Lord willing, is edifying, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, double on-set apostles, great millstone, and peace, love, and blessings to the elect. Till next time, Shalom.